Hey everyone, Chaps here. We're looking at trying something new on the Tac-Com channel. We're looking at introducing more contributors and having a more constant stream of informative videos. With that in mind, hey everyone, Chaps here. You're watching Tac-Com, and this is Gears Feed. This week, we've gotten information from GamesCom, IGN First Coverage, a new developer blog, and some various tweets. Let's begin with the news that has come out of GamesCom. You all may remember the snippets of campaign footage that we saw back in June. Well, that footage is back, but with a more extensive playthrough. There isn't much new information to come from this, but there are two main items of interest. Here you can see the Lancer with the text Lancer Mark III. This is in contrast to the footage we saw earlier this month with the DeeBees, where we saw the custom Lancer. I speculate that the Mark III Lancer is essentially the Mark II Lancer we know and love, but with the addition of a wood stock. My guess is that the custom Lancer is simply the same as the Mark III, but with various attachments added or removed, such as a flashlight. The other item of interest from this footage was the cutscene that was shown. This seems to be the first time that we encounter the swarm in-game. Take a look and check out this awesome visual of the swarm.
JD?
This campaign demo seems to be the only playable form of the game at GamesCom. We got confirmation from Pez Radar that there's no playable multiplayer at the event. But don't worry, PAX is coming up in just a couple weeks, and according to this tweet, both Horde and multiplayer will be featured and playable at PAX. A topic on the forums this past week or so has been about the PC version of the game. This is due in large to the fact that the official PC requirements were just released. I for one will be playing primarily on the console, but I can't wait to run through campaign on my PC and see all the spectacular visuals. IGN is in the middle of their IGN First coverage of Gears of War. They have a full month of exclusives coming out for us throughout the month of August. In previous weeks, we were introduced to the new enemies called the DeeBees. In IGN's coverage this week, we didn't seem to get a whole lot of new information, but we did get some nice screenshots and some more detailed information about the DeeBees and their weapons. Let's start by taking a look at these little cogbots. There seem to be four major classes of DeeBees. We have the light humanoids. They consist of the Shepherd and Deadeye. The Shepherd is your common type. Wielding an SMG, they appear to play a similar role to the standard drones we know from the previous Gears games. The Deadeye is your sniper class enemy. They come armed with the M-bar. Because there's no scope on this weapon, because robots don't need scopes, you won't see lens flare when they're aiming. But don't worry, their face will light up as they aim down sight. Next we have the Tracker. These little guys are rolling balls that will attempt to catch you off guard in the middle of a fight. They will roll up right next to you and put off a deadly explosion. Similar to tickers, if these guys get too close, you can give these guys a nice kick in the face and knock them back. Interestingly, these bots play a similar role to the armored tickers that were scrapped from the earlier games. I'm curious to see how the mechanics of these trackers play out as compared to how the armored tickers were intended. On to another humanoid type bot, the DR1. These are the heavy type humanoid robots. I see them replacing the Boomer class from the previous games. While they're slower than the other DBs, they pack a bigger punch and have more health. These guys will wield the overkill shotgun, and if they take enough damage, they'll rush you and detonate. Last but not least, we have the Guardians. These large flying drones have a force field around them and carry heavy weapons. While these things look tough to kill, it will be worth it, because you'll be able to rip their weapons off once destroyed. One of these weapons is the Tri-Shot minigun, which has been seen in various gameplay clips over the past weeks. The other weapon you'll be able to grab is the Salvo rocket launcher. We've yet to see any information on this weapon. Now let's take a further look at these DB weapons. First off is the Enforcer SMG. This weapon has been confirmed to be in versus multiplayer, and is assumed by many to be an optional starting weapon. It has a very high rate of fire, and will outperform other rifles at close range, but it loses efficiency quickly as distance increases. The other DB weapon that has been seen in multiplayer footage is the M-bar. This is a railgun-style sniper rifle. However, because it was created for the DBs, it does not feature a scope. It seems like it will play out similar to a weaker breach shot. Apparently, if this weapon is charged for too long without firing, the clip will burst. This leads to a cooldown period, which will prevent you from firing for a short period of time. Next up is the Overkill shotgun, the main weapon of the DR1. This is a very interesting take on a shotgun. It has 4 barrels, hence 4 shots per clip. The gun only allows for 2 trigger pulls per clip though. The Overkill will fire 1 shot when you pull the trigger, and the second shot when you release. The second shot can be delayed for a tighter spread, or if you release the trigger right away, the second shot will have a wider spray. On Friday, This gun was confirmed to be in Versus multiplayer, as I'll explain later. The weapon is believed to be a pickup weapon in Versus multiplayer, but there's no confirmation yet as to if it will be available in loadouts. The last two weapons are the Tri-Shot and Salvo rocket launcher. The Tri-Shot functions similarly to a powerful mulcher that will slow down as the barrel overheats. No images have been seen of the Salvo rocket launcher yet, but we've been told that it functions similarly to a traditional rocket, but with more bounce. I personally can't wait to see this thing in action. The Guardian-type DeeBee is confirmed to wield either of these weapons. In addition, the DR-1 can wield the rocket launcher. It's unknown if either of these weapons will be available as pickups in Versus multiplayer. On Friday, IGN also released the first look at a new map called Lift, complete with gameplay and a fly-through. As the match progresses, the map will change. Some areas will open up and some will close off. In the gameplay, we were able to spot the mulcher and flame grenades, which have not been showcased previously. Another big discovery from the gameplay is that we finally get to see the overkill shotgun in Versus multiplayer. This weapon was known about, but it was previously unknown if the weapon would appear in Versus multiplayer modes. To check out all of IGN's coverage and see more gameplay on the map, check the link in the description. This past weekend, the Coalition hosted a live stream in which they answered questions from the chat. Jack Felling answered many esports questions, and Octus was there to answer the more general and community-related questions. A brief overview of the announcement is, TC now has an official Discord server for Gears of War, there's no theater mode in Gears 4, there are no locusts in multiplayer, and the wall cancel has been toned back to reduce hyper bouncing, and Wingman and Free For All will not be in the game at launch, but there is a possibility for them to return in the future. This covers the majority of the general and community-related questions. For information about the Gears esports topics covered, check out this highlight video created by Immortal Spawn that I've linked in the description. On Tuesday this week, the Coalition released another developer blog. This one consisted of an interview with Jason Hopkins, the lead animator for the Coalition. He was there to discuss the art of animation. In this article, we got an inside look at the reasoning and thought process that went into creating the animations we'll see in the game. The article is scattered with GIFs showcasing their work, and I must say, they are quite awesome. Here we see how the character will dynamically react to wind effects in the game. In this clip, we see the new rolling down but not out animation. This one is particularly interesting. When you get down while rolling, you'll no longer be a glitchy mess that flips from upside down to DB&O. Instead, there will now be a smooth transition. Now I'll leave you with this one, the Swarm execution. It's as gruesome as ever and an excellent addition to our execution library. I look forward to using this one upon launch. On Friday, yet another developer blog was released. Yep, you heard that right. 2 developer blogs in the same week. This one focused on re-ups, ranks, and unveiled Seriously 4.0. Each of the re-ups, shown here, will have 100 levels, making this the highest leveling Gears game to date. That's 1,000 total levels. The ranking system was also discussed in this blog. Here you can see the 5 ranks, ranging from Bronze to Diamond. Each of these ranks also has 3 sub-ranks. For example, it would go Gold 2, Gold 3, Onyx 1, Onyx 2 as you progress. Every core and competitive mode will feature these ranks, with the exception of one. A new social mode will be added. This will be the only mode in the game without a rank. It will consist of every core game type, and it will rotate modes based on a player voting system. Last but certainly not least, we got some information about Seriously 4.0. This time it has been modified to be less grindy, but still takes time and dedication to earn. There are 7 requirements to earning this achievement. You must complete campaign on Insane, reach re-up 10, you must earn all ribbons at least once, and you must earn a rank placement in each game mode. Additionally, there are 3 requirements that are Horde focused. Horde isn't currently being discussed, so these 3 will remain a mystery for now. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you all like this new style of video that we're doing. We're going to work to increase the frequency of this type of content. If you did like this content, check out some of our other discussion videos. You can also like, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with us. Also, don't forget to follow GowFeed to stay up to date with all of your favorite Gears news, where you'll be seeing real-time updates covering anything and everything Gears of War. Once again, this has been an episode of Gears Feed on Tac-Com, and until next time, thanks for watching.